Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Joel, that's Suede, and this is A Stable Life. We're out here seeing what all the horses are up to, and it looks like Weather's over there saying hi to the cows this morning. Whoo-wee, it is beautiful out there, but dry. Very dry. Becoming the theme of these videos. Speaking of dry, let's check on our water. Oh, good. The water trough that we put in here is doing well. Looks like there's a good 80 gallons, 90 gallons still in that. And that's exactly what we like to see. Currently, we are a little over 3.5 weeks since we've received a rain event. Now, I recognize for some of you that is quite normal to have those long periods of time with no rain, but not here in northeastern Pennsylvania, and certainly not during this time of year. May is known as one of our wet months, and this time of year is usually our wet season. Now, right now, well, to be honest, I don't think I could have said it any better than Buster. Right now, and usually during this time of year, we're starting to phase out of our wet season into our dry season, but we're still usually getting rain at least once a week. There's currently no rain forecasted for another week, so we are looking at a full month of no rain. The repercussions of which are not fully known yet, as we are just getting started with it, but one thing's for certain, it has definitely affected our first cutting of hay crop. Taking a look in here at the foundation for the new feed room, just wanted to show you guys that these blocks that we put in are doing phenomenally well. All of them are very hard and actually set way better than even I thought they would. Like, a lot better. I'm very impressed, actually. So that's awesome. That's really cool to see. One of the things we're working on today is actually moving some of our empty feed containers over into the new feed room. We want to start getting things moving on getting this current feed room emptied out because we want to make it open and available for Tucker. But before we can start on all of that, we need to get the muck buckets out of the stalls into the aisleways and all of the horses in the stalls. Good morning, Gavin. Ow! How are you feeling today?
Much better. If people didn't know, I was sick, but now I'm much better.
It is so good to have you back with us, Gavin, and we are happy to hear it. Well, now that all that's taken care of with the help of Gavin, we are ready to start feeding all the animals. No poncho to let in, just gotta feed the donkeys. There you go, gentlemen. And next up is Tucker. Hey, Roni. Good to see you this morning, buddy. Hey, Jack. Hey, Champ. Hey, Rebel. Hey, William. Hey, George. Hey, Casino. I noticed this in the video the other day, but guys, take a close look at the horse's hooves. You'll notice that right where the front hoof lands is right where the back hoof lands when he's walking. Same exact spot on the ground. Has to be perfectly synchronized or that would not work. Cool stuff, ain't it? Next up, we got the big field. Hey, Danny. Hey, Suede. Hey, Obi. There goes Skywalker. Hey, Poncho. There goes Weather. We're missing some horses, Gavin.
They're walking in unison.
Oh, single file. Man, I remember that. Single file. Remember everyone had to walk single file down the hallways? Do you know why horses walk single file?
No.
That'd probably be a cool fact to share with them. Do you guys know why horses walk single file? Because I don't. No, in all seriousness, it usually has everything to do with a leader and followers. The leader will walk in front of the rest of the horses and the rest of the horses will follow. Usually horses are similar to water. They follow the path of least resistance. So whatever path the leader has chosen to be the best path moving forward, a lot of the followers will just assume that that's the best path and follow likewise. But sometimes the horses will break off the path. Like Tucker down there, choosing his own.
But Joel, they're following Doc's.
Doc has chosen the path of least resistance. Hey, Docs. Hey, Declan. Hello, Sriracha. Gavin. Come on, Tucker. Hey, Poe. Hey, Archer. Hey, Duke. And Argento. Okay, all the horses are in. Now, of course, with it being manure day, Gavin's gonna get started on taking out all the manure for all the horses. Gavin, I gotta ask, did you miss manure day?
Absolutely.
It's good to have you back. We're happy to know that you missed manure day.
Thank you for covering while I was gone.
You're very welcome. From looking up here, I can very clearly tell both hay feeders are empty, so it looks like I'm gonna have to put out some hay. I'm gonna work on daily care while you take care of manure. Sound like a plan? Now, as for today, we do have a couple horses that are getting worked on by the farrier. So Duke, Roni, William, Dox, and Sriracha are all gonna need to be kept in for the farrier, just to make sure. And it appears that also we're gonna need to check Suede's, let's see here, front knees. Yeah, check for heat and swelling on Suede's front knees. I did not see him limping when he came in this morning. We are looking good so far, but we'll confirm that. And in case anyone's wondering, you guys ask often if my dad is the main farrier for our stable. He is one of the farriers for our stable. We have three farriers, potentially even four actually, now that I think about it. Farriers that work at our horse stable. My dad does all of our horses and a couple of our clients. Most of the clients use another farrier, and then the clients that have the bigger horses will use a separate farrier for those big hooves to be worked on. Now, with all that being said, we're gonna get started on daily care, which means I'm gonna need to put on some gloves. Now for daily care, that basically consists in the summer times of making sure that we got sunscreen on all the horses that have a pink nose, like Obi here. For anybody curious, we usually will use a baby type of sunscreen because that's how sensitive their skin is on their front nose.
Hey, did you hit that like button yet?
And this goes for, of course, the front of the nose, as well as the sides of the nose, as in Casino's case, where the sides of his nose are very sensitive to the sunlight. So we gotta make sure that we get both sides of his nose. Good boy. And then, of course, we also will be putting on some Bannex on Samson. Samson likes to find the wettest ground he possibly can and stay in it. So we're gonna do our best to make sure that he has a good skincare routine. Big load today.
Yeah.
And still with other horses, we're gonna be putting on fly masks. Fly masks are something that's used to keep the flies out of their eyes and out of their ears. There are fly masks that don't have the protection over the ears. Personally, I'm not a big fan of those because what's the point of putting a fly mask on your horse if you're not gonna protect their ears? And in case you're wondering, a horse can see through this. It's just like your screen door. I'll demonstrate using Poncho's fly mask here. As you guys can see, you can see me nice and clearly, and this is with a camera that's trying to focus on fly mask instead of me. Their eyes can see right through that, no issues. Okay, we have all the horses taken care of. The last one that we're gonna be working on here is Suede. I'm gonna check and see. I don't see any swelling, nor do I feel any heat. His knees actually look really healthy. Feels like there's the tiniest bit of swelling on this knee here, and so his front right is okay, his front left has a tiny bit of swelling. So all in all, pretty good. He's okay. All things considered, we'll put a fly mask on him and continue moving forward. And as you guys have seen, we have baled the horse hay, and it is coming out nicely. As for the totals, I'll be sure to give you guys that. But we have a couple round bales that we're gonna be feeding today. You might be wondering, why are we feeding the hay that's freshly baled and not using the large square bales? Simple answer, the large square bales we like for using inside the barn. So this is our barn hay. It's what we're using inside the barn. So we're just going right to using round bales. So let's go and get started. Now we've got our round bale and our bale spike. I just got to get around this truck. Serpentine, as they say. We'll put her down into low gear. Us not getting any rain really affects the horses in a few ways. Firstly, our pasture that is over 50 acres and huge, mostly grass. Well, the grass can only grow so much with no rain. So that means that we are going to be going through a little bit more hay in the big field, which also means we will have less hay for the winter, because this hay, of course, is the hay that we just baled, which is the hay that we store for the winter. So that's a negative. And of course, with us having this consistent period of no rain, that also meant that our first cut and crop, we didn't get as much as we would have liked. which means that we have less hay to start with. It's not a good problem to have, and it's definitely something we're gonna have to keep our eyes on as we move through this season. We're hoping for rain. We need rain. We're hoping that it rains now that we got our first cutting off, because that second cutting needs rain to get started. If it doesn't rain, then our second cutting is gonna be delayed. It will be very short. We won't get as much from it. And then the chances of us getting a third cutting are practically gone. It's not the end of the world. We've got a few plans in place just in case we need to get some more hay. If there's any good side from this, it's that we've got an absolutely beautiful crop. And that's shown by the fact that this is empty. I already fed one round bale in here and the horses completely destroyed it. If you were a horse, you think you'd like that hay?
Absolutely.
And with that, hay is taken care of, which means we are now good to let all the horses out, and then we can get started with everything we need to get done today. Alrighty guys, so today we are gonna be working on our new feed room. What is it that we're gonna be doing?
Moving feed bins.
Ain't that exciting? We are not gonna be moving feed bins on the dirt because we have to put the mats in.
Which are ordered, and we're picking them up. But that's for another video.
So Gavin and I are just gonna sweep this clean because there's a little bit of dust that's on here. And then we're going to move all of the empty feed bins from in here to over there, all in preparation for moving the feed room entirely over. Today we also are picking up our grain order, which is considerably smaller because we got our grain in bulk, which is very exciting. Fun times lie ahead. We grabbed the 3 feed bins that we are moving. We were moving them into the new feed area, naturally, because we wanted the area to be clean. We were brooming off the feed bins and Gavin said, hey, I have an idea.
And to be honest, it was a pretty good one. This one's clean.
That looks so good. Let's add some more. Those look right at home right there, don't they? This is not the final home for these. They're gonna be moved around a little bit, especially when we're putting up our wall. Once the mats are in, we're gonna make the feed room a more final look. I did not want to move the feed room in here until the dirt was in. Didn't want my mom tripping while she's working in here. Thankfully now the dirt's in here and it's a lot more level, so we have no risk of that. Not to mention with all the grain that's coming, we either fill all the grain inside the existing feed room, meaning that the feed room stays where it is for another month, or we move the feed room in here and fill everything in here, allowing us to get started on these being turned back into stalls. I don't know if you guys could tell, Gavin's excited, it's lunchtime. Let's go head on back out and see what we got waiting for us for lunch. What's for lunch, darling?
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs and cauliflower?
I'm not your darling, but I'll tell you what I had. Hot dogs and cauliflower.
What about you, Matt?
I had a hot diggity dog and some cauliflower.
What about you, Tyler? Powerade. All right, well, let me tell you, lunch was good. Nothing nicer than a nice, good hot dog, let me tell you. We're getting back to work over here. So Gavin's gonna get back to pressure washing. I'm gonna get all the bins set up for him to pressure wash, and then we are ready to go. Tractor fits and it can fit 2 large square bales.
But we don't want the horses to be able to eat it, and we don't want to put a front on it. Maybe to come out another,
4 feet?
I was thinking 4.
That's 4 right there.
That's 4.
Oh, you're saying a horse's neck can't reach. Yeah. Your top plate's gonna have
20
to be...
feet. You're gonna have to put a post in the middle.
Yeah, that makes sense. But if you're putting in a top plate, the top plate is what, 10 inches?
Yeah.
So
It's gonna
16, 14.
almost
so that,
1 foot. Almost 1 foot.
Honestly, that would still work. If you're doing 16 feet high, that the max is 14 on that, right? Or 12.
Yeah,
The max
12.
is 12. And each of these bales are usually 3, 6, 9, 12. So that's 4 for a 12-foot section. So if it's 16 feet high, the top plate lowers it by 15 feet. 15 feet is the hay wagons. So you could still get a hay wagon in. So that would work with it. That would be fine with a top plate in there.
So that's your lumber, other than your walls.
Wow, we're out over there talking and getting all our measurements put together, and look what Gavin did in here. Man, oh man, does that look awesome. This looks so cool. Eventually, we do plan on getting more of these feed bins, and I know that a lot of you guys have been requesting where you could pick these up. We're gonna be getting them from Cashman's, Cashmans. You can Google them, they are a horse outlet store. You can look them up if you'd like. Not sponsored, just that's where we're getting them from. Oh my goodness, I'm curious, what does the old feed room look like?
Yes, this looks amazing. Good job.
I think she's proud of her work. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, wow. This almost looks like it should be pressure washed, Gavin.
Not today.
All right, so we got all the bins set up, so we are gonna head out to our local feed supplier and pick up our new order of grain, which is a lot smaller. Are you excited about that? It's gonna be nicer handling. We don't even need to hook up to the trailer. We could put a pallet right in the back of the truck and head on out. I still can't get over how good that looks. And imagine how much better it's gonna look once all the mats are in and everything's perfectly level.
Nice.
There goes the neighbor farmer with our old disc bind. That's kind of funny to see. You know, I had a feeling that all the construction parts were still gonna be in the back of this truck. By the way, what did you guys think of that video where everybody filled in for me? Wasn't that awesome? You guys want some insider information? I didn't actually, that was hot. I didn't actually expect that whole thing to happen. Everybody just grabbed the camera and went for it. And I am so proud of all of them for it. Now we just got to see if they'd be willing to do it again, because that was awesome. I'm so proud of them. Yep, I can tell you guys already, I am liking this so much more. Let me tell you, this worked out smooth. We were able to put the cover over with the tailgate up. How smooth is that? That is nice. So now I just got to go get the tractor and put the pallet forks on the front, because we got this to take down. But we're also going to be testing out the new system for our horse feed, which has been patiently waiting for us over here in this bag. You guys remember me bucketing this grain out with 5-gallon buckets? Well, it's time to actually use this. So we're going to test and see, one, my tractor can pick that up, and two, the system that we're planning on using for getting that into the feed bins. So we're going to be learning a lot here, see how it goes. But it all starts with me getting the tractor and getting the pallet fork attachment for it. So let's start over there. A tractor and a disc bind appeared and is currently in the way. I don't know if he's maybe working on something or whatnot, so for now, we'll just grab that pallet and take that down and fill that up, and that might move, that might not. We'll address that in a moment, but for now, we'll just work on this. I can't tell you guys how nice this is to be able to drive this pallet load of feed right into where the feed room is and leave it up. We don't have to set it down on the ground or anything, so we don't have to bend over to pick anything up. We can just grab the bag and put it right into the bin. Look at this. Oh, so nice. So we're going to be topping off all of the bins that are currently empty and then working our way up to the bins that are full of grain. We have our main menu split, so that way we can use our oldest feed first. And that's why I put all the new feed on the one side and the older feeds on the other side. Okay, that's it for the bagged feed. Now let's move on to the exciting stuff. Good. All right, now Daniel's our master controller here. He's gonna walk us through how this works.
Here, Cole, do you want to see how to do this?
Yeah, how do you untie
So
that?
you untie this one, and you untie this one.
Yeah, you can put more in. The legs for us? Thank you, Kevin. So that we don't get confused. Was it that?
Yeah.
That?
Yeah.
He came in fine this morning.
So far, so good.
All right, guys, that was definitely a success. As you can see, we have an old combine auger that we used as a chute. So it looks like this is as far to the right as we can go. We plan on having 2 bins over there, so we don't actually expect to get this far over here. I recognize that to some of you this may look like more work and it's easier just to carry bags. The way I view this is this was our first time. We are getting everything ironed out. After we do this several times, oh my goodness, just the amount of time savings and the amount of effort that it will take to do grain will be so much nicer. I am very happy with this. All right, Gavin's gonna take over feeding for the horses. I'm gonna put everything away and get started on bucketing grain down here. Well, guys, let me know what you think. All the feed bins are full. And let me tell you, that bag holds a lot of grain. We ended up filling this one and the rest of this one using buckets. So what we learned, definitely 2 over here are gonna be nice. The tractor can easily reach in here for us to fill these up.
Especially with that extension.
That ended up being nice.
Very nice.
While I was taking care of that, Gavin measured out for all the horses and they're all in the barn. So we have now reached turnout and Gavin and I, well, we're running a little behind schedule. So you guys know what that means?
It means we've reached the end of the video.
If you haven't,
Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.
and for the question of the day, let us know down in the comments below if you're having as dry a spring as we are. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.